Let me know when I'm good.
So, okay. You might have to. I don't know if this is.
Are we live on Facebook?
Did you go live yet?
Yeah, we're live, sir.
You got live.
Come on, sir.
Alright, so log you a little bit of technical difficulties. Got a new camera system that we're trying to employ and some software. Figuring it all out. So we are still in Genesis chapter 7, verse 8.
A shark.
Yeah. What is that on Facebook? Alright, you find us on Facebook? We're live on Facebook.
No, you gotta refresh it. That's why it's looking like that.
Okay, I got you. I see. You gotta fix this camera too, though. Chances are this is going to be pronounced Torah. It could be Tahara. I put I woman woman's woman I will pop I will pop I walk wa ka wakala will call Asha Asura Asar 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 Wusha Asar Ra Wa Asar Ra Asar Wusha Asar Ramash. Start to pull up. Next time, keep seated and have a brother teach you.
Okay.
Ilama, the Al Hadama. Hadama. You clap it up for me, bro. They even can be tough, man. They even can be tough. That's why we got lots of Kadash classes every Friday. You know, some people try to learn online, but you end up speaking Yiddish, not Hebrew. We'll just continue. Verse 9. Shaniyam. Shaniyam. Bow, it's like bawa, bawa. Oh, nah. Oh, Ataba. Zakar. Unakuba. Kashaw. Tazawa. Alahain. Ah, nah. Withstand. Wayahaya. Dashabai. Hayam Yum. Wamiya. Mama Wall. Haywa. Al. Al Rakaza. Verse 11. Bashanat. Shasha. Mawa. Shana. Baka. Bakayaya. Na. Bakadash. Bashanyu. Bashabai. Aishar. Yawam. Bakadash. Bayawam. Hazak. Nabakwayu. Call. Mayanawa. Tawam. Wabak. Wawabak. Hashamyam. Napatakwa. Verse 12. Wayahaya. Hagasham. Ab. Haratazah. Arabayam. Yawam. Warabiam. Layala. Layala. Verse 13. Baitazam. Haywan. Hazak. Ba'a. Na. Washam. Wakam. Wipa. Banya. Na. Washa. Na. Washalasha. What's like? Yeah, Washalasha. Nashya. Banyuwa. Atham. Oh. Afba. Verse 14. Hama. Wakal. Hakiyah. Namayana. Wakal. Abahama. Lamayana. Like Lamayana. Wakal. Haramash. Haramash. Av. Harakazah. Amiyanawa. Wakal. Haiwa. Amiyanawa. Call. Tazapuwa. called Tanakh. And that's the first, those 7 verses in the Hebrew. We're going to go back into the English now. So Genesis chapter 7, starting at verse 8 through 14. So what we were reading about before was, again, the instructions that were given to Noah to complete the ark, what animals to bring, how many of them to bring, clean and unclean, how to build the ark, and the story is continuing from there.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 7 and verse 8. Of clean beasts and of beasts that are not clean.
So again, we had the laws of clean and unclean a long time ago. It wasn't, it started with Adam. When he was given that breath of life, he was given the instructions that the Lord wanted him to follow. He passed that down his generations. Noah is one of his descendants. So Noah, like some people sit there and argue that Noah had, and I hate this phraseology, he had a personal relationship with God. And he was speaking with the Most High. Now the Most High was definitely communicating with Noah, but he was taught these clean and unclean laws. That's how he knew what to bring, how many of each. These definitely instructions for the Most High. But he knew what was clean and what was unclean. Keep going.
And of fowl, and of everything that creepeth upon the earth. Verse 9. There went in two and two, there went in two and two unto Noah into the ark, the male and the female, as God commanded Noah. Verse 10. And it came to pass after 7 days that the waters of the flood were upon the earth.
Now again, this is not a global pandemic situation. It's centralized to where man was populated. That's the part that needed to get punished. A walrus is not evil. A walrus don't need to get punished for what we were doing. Horses, cattle, bugs, insects, birds, they didn't have to get punished in the Western Hemisphere. Man was populated in that Eastern Hemisphere, in that garden, in that Fertile Crescent area. That's what needed to get corrected. That's what was being affected here. You going?
Verse 11. In the 600th year of Noah's life, in the 2nd month, the 17th day of the month, the same day where all the fountains of the great deep broken up and the windows of heaven were opened.
I mean, this is just, in a way, I don't want to say an artistic expression, but the words that are being used here, the fountains of the great deep, the windows of heaven were opened up. It's poetic in a sense. Just, I don't know how to explain it. It's not as fantastical as a lot of people try to make it. Good.
It's like that one when it says the heavens open up. Is that talking about that firmament?
This would be talking about, so the heavens above. There are different levels of heavens. So the heavens above, it's basically describing like the clouds pouring down rain. So it's not the firmament itself opening up, but it's just the heavens above opening up to dump that water out. So again, it's that artistic expression. Yeah. All right, keep going.
Verse 12. And the rain was upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. Verse 13. In the self-same day entered Noah and Shem and Ham and Japheth, the sons of Noah, and Noah's wife, and the 3 wives of his sons with him into the ark.
It's just a family that ended up repopulating the earth as we know it today. So when everybody wants to argue about ain't no such thing as race, why can't we all get along? We're all the same people. Biblically, yes, we do come from the same stock because of the flood, because everybody else was destroyed, and these were the surviving families. So you got Shem, Ham, and Japheth that ended up being the progenitors of life, of humankind as we know it today. Now the Lord had split up the families, and we'll read about this later on. But we're still not the same people. If we were the same people, everybody would look the same. We'd all be the same height, have the same complexion, the same hair, things like that. And when they want to talk about like haplogroups, then we should all stem back to Noah. Everybody should have the same haplogroup. But the Lord had separated families. And then that's why we got all these the varieties that we see today. It stems from them. So when we talk about how we're closer to Esau, biblically we are closer to Esau. I should say biblically Israel is closer to Esau than the other nations. It's because Esau also came from Shem. We come from Shem. We're also closer to the Chinese than we are from Africans, than we are from Hawaiians and Polynesians, because they come from either Ham or Japheth. So just our family group, Israelites, Edomites, Moabites, Ammonites, Arabs, here are the Ishmaelites. There's a couple more in there too, but we come from Shem. You got all the Africans, so-called Africans, that come from Ham. You got Pacific Islanders, and because they're not the same as. Now, not all of them are the same as the Asians. I think Thai, Koreans, Cambodians. I think Cambodians are in that family group. But like the Eskimos and Polynesians and what is it called? The Aboriginals in Australia, and I think even the Hawaiians. Don't quote me on that, but I think even the Hawaiians, they all stem. Yeah, the Eskimos they stem from Japheth as well. So just you got different family groups. So on the table of nations is expressed 18 families that everybody stems off of. There's no new races being born today. You're not gonna have a black man and a white woman come together and make a whole new species of people, a whole new breed. It don't work that way. You are the seed of your father. You get attributes from your mother. Not that serious. The woman ain't God. The Bible keeps it very simple and plain. It's like that.
Verse 14. They and every beast after his kind, and all the cattle after their kind.
Now again, when it's talking about after their kind, we're just talking about the I don't want to say necessarily the parent class of each of those kinds of animals, but like again, today we've got all types of different dogs because of domestication, and all types of different cattle and different kind of weird animals that because of domestication, because of man's involvement, we have today that we did not have back then. Dalmatians, for example, you're not going to see that biblically. That was just a different kind of breeding of canines. So just again, after their kind, it's kind of like just that base parent group of just the base animal of that kind. And then everything else, had been kind of messed with after that. So now we got a bunch of crazy shit today. Good.
And every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth after his kind, and every fowl after his kind, every bird of every sort.
We didn't do a whole lot of mixing of like birds and bugs. Nobody's sitting trying to splice a caterpillar and a beetle together. We sitting trying to mix a mule with a horse, and now we got a donkey with a horse, and now we got not ponies, that was called. Yeah, now we got mules as a result. That are sterile and they can't reproduce themselves like that. You know, again, just man's involvement. Things were a lot simpler back in these days. Everything just was what it was. Okay?
Yeah, I think Isupk told me like Hollywood would be
Yeah.
using like the dog, you put like the cat's head on it,
Yep.
or weird shit like that.
There's this one YouTube channel. I can't remember what it's called, but these scientists, it's like a husband and wife team. They've got like a little lab in their home, and they're sitting there splicing DNAs from different animals to see what they can create. So they created something that damn near looked like Pikachu. They like different, like a fish and a lizard, a gecko and gecko and they came up with some weird stuff that again can't reproduce itself because they become sterile.
I think I've seen I don't know if it was natural or if they did it on purpose, but it was like a lion mixed with a tiger.
Yeah, they did that on purpose. Yeah, because a lion and a tiger themselves, if they meet it in the wild, they're gonna kill each other.
Right.
That would be an extremely rare thing to see them kicking it and then being attracted to one another. The pheromones, their hormones, like the scent that they give off, they are going to be mortal combats. So like you'll see a lot of videos. I don't say a lot of videos, but you'll see some samples of a lion with a baby antelope or something like that, and they're all playful and being nice. Once some cameras cut off, that lion ate that goddamn animal.
Right.
That's just nature. That's just how that works. So like some of the things that they say in the Bible, like when it's talking about how a lion is going to lay down with a lamb, that's not talking about a physical lion and a physical lamb. That's a spiritual analogy of the conditions that are going to be on earth. They're going to learn to leave us the fuck alone. Slack it for the language. They're going to learn to leave us alone. When they bleep their swords into plowshares, they stop repopulating the city. They're going to learn to leave us alone. So them lions can lay down with lambs. We ain't going to be bothered by them no more. There's going to come that time when they're going to have to fall back and get in line. And that's the Lord's will. This earth, this kingdom, this society needs to fall in order for mankind to live. In order for the earth to be saved, to heal. So all that admixture that they're doing, good?
Yeah.
All that admixture that they're doing, man's interference with nature, with the natural course of life, it's going to come back and bite them in the ass. I don't care about their bombs. I don't care about their technology. It's cool stuff that you can do, but they taking it to a whole nother level for reasons that are unnecessary. I don't need to see what's on the bottom of the ocean. I trust that there's a floor down there. The Bible talks about the springs underneath. That's what it was saying in verse 11. The fountains of the great deep broken up. It's talking about those underwater springs, those deep springs, and natural fissures and things like that. I don't need to see that in real life. I can trust that it's down there. The stars in the outer space, that's cool. They can hang out there. I don't need to see that. I can look through a telescope. That's good enough for me. I don't need to be in outer space. Do I want to float in zero gravity? Yeah, that'd be awesome. Take a trip around the earth in a chariot? Yeah, that'd be cool. When the time is right for it. When we, I think it was Captain Katazai. I think he put this best. Once we rule the world, then we can talk about what's at the bottom of the ocean. Then maybe we'll construct a submarine to go down there and see the Mariana Trench. Then maybe we'll take a trip to Mars. Right. For now, we got to deal with the fentanyl issue in Milwaukee. That's why we got all these goddamn kids. The brothers and sisters are ODing left and right on us. So now we need to be prepared. We shouldn't have to prepare like this. Good?
I was going to say, too, I think it's the beginning of Milwaukee, because the West Coast, where I came from, it's out of control.
Yeah, I heard Portland wild, man.
Ridiculous. Like this is paradise.
In comparison?
Compared to Portland.
Yeah, it's crazy. That seemed like some videos of it was like this one strip, just tents all over the place.
Oh, no,
addicts
that's
just
everywhere.
slump, just right broad daylight, right out in the open.
It's like you said. That's homeless alley.
Yeah.
And Portland's motto is keep Portland weird. You know what I'm saying? Seeing
They
them out
succeed.
there like that is nothing.
They are definitely doing their job, then.
Right.
And and that's just Portland. That's
Portland.
just
Seattle's
Milwaukee.
getting just as worse.
Yeah, and then that's
Yeah.
just Seattle. And then we still got LA.
Yeah,
And we still
yeah.
got San Diego. And we still got we still got Arizona. We still got Phoenix. We got Vegas. You got New Mexico.
It's coming over here now.
Yeah. You got Chicago. Yeah. You still got New York to deal with. You got the 5 boroughs out there in New York that we still have to contend with. Give a shit what's going on in Mars. I don't care about that. We got crack cocaine right here in our city. They dying on a reservation with crystal meth. They addicted, like this one sister is she's so addicted to alcohol, she's sitting there drinking hand sanitizer because it has alcohol content. It's crazy.
Reservation drinking
Yeah.
hairspray.
And mouthwash. The world should not look like this. The so-called white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Needs to be destroyed. Everything that's going on, his judgment is his fault. He didn't have to do it. He didn't have to use us as alligator bait. If we go to war with somebody, they win. All right, fine. We get put in a servitude as a result. Okay, I understand. You didn't have to use our babies as alligator bait, though. You didn't have to hang sister up by, a pregnant woman up by her ankle, gut her, and kick the baby around. You don't need to do that. You want to make me work? Okay, I'll shovel some manure. I'll plow your fields. Okay. Leave my kids alone. We don't need transgender. That is completely abnormal and abomination. And they trying to regularize this shit. I was talking with this one cat. So there was a story going out a while back about, y'all ever heard of furries? You heard of furries? You ever heard of furries?
The little small little creatures.
Nah, it's people that identify as being an animal.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Esau turned to
Yes.
a horse.
No. It's a little boy. It's a 12-year-old boy who identifies as a cat. So he's gonna walk around with whiskers and a goddamn tail. So now there was a story going out about how supposedly they were putting kitty litter boxes in the schools for these furries. Now, this one guy that I was battling with on Clubhouse, he was like, "No, that was fake news. That was fake news." I think that article might have actually been fake. I wouldn't have put it past these devils, not to use as a bathroom, but they were putting like in the classrooms, just to let the furries feel more natural, so they can go kick it in the litter box and pretend like they squatting or whatever the hell, just to make them feel more comfortable. Now that turned out to be fake news, but the one guy that I was talking to about this shit, he said no, that really happened. They actually did this in Wisconsin. They did this in Wisconsin. You don't have to go to the other side of the country to see things like this happening. It's happening right here in our backyard. Waukesha, back in the 40s. Waukesha, which is right outside of Milwaukee. They had their state fair, Waukesha State Fair. And again, this was just as recent as in the 40s. So what is that, 80 years ago? Yeah, about 80 years ago. They had, at their state fair, one of their carnival games was Hit the Nigger Baby. And it was advertised. They had brochures about state fair. And it was advertised, one of those games is Hit the Nigger Baby. The brochure was printed off and sponsored by, because it was on this like these campgrounds or some shit like that out there in Waukesha. It was printed off and sponsored by the YMCA. Yeah?
So I got two comments. The YMCA was made by Gadite. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, I was reading this book in Minnesota. I think his name, I think they call him Little Crow or something like that. But he's the one that made YMCA. But the YMCA was specifically made just for Native American children. But now it evolved.
So I wonder if the meaning of it was different back then, because when I looked it up, the definition was like Young Men's Christian Association.
I have this one on my phone.
All right, we'll check that out. Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah. And then the dunking thing, at the fair, they have the guy standing on the little seat, and they throw a little baseball, and was that
the dunk
part
tanks?
of the racial thing you were talking about at one?
No, I think that was something completely different. They used to put a baby up on like the target, and you would just pay to throw baseballs or fruit at that kid, at that baby, at fucking Yaya. They would pin up a child, hit the nigga baby, and you would pay people. These devils would pay to throw a baseball at a baby. That was at the State Fair in Waukesha in the 40s. That's right here in Wisconsin. I don't have to go to Florida. I don't have to go to New York or LA or to Texas to find some racial bullshit going on. It's right here in our city. It's right in our state. It happened right here in Milwaukee too. There was a time, it's so segregated. There was a time you couldn't cross a certain bridge to a different side of town if you was colored. You couldn't do it. We had to damn near gentrify neighborhoods to get an even kind of shake of things. The South Side used to be a whole lot of Polish and German and Irish, and then Mexicans and Puerto Ricans came in. We had to take that whole thing over to be by ourselves. Same thing with the North Side. You couldn't, if you was a brother on the North Side, you couldn't go to the South Side. You couldn't cross that bridge going into the East Side, into River West. People fought over that to keep it segregated. I ain't got no problem with segregation. It's a beautiful thing. The problem is we segregate from ourselves, even in our own communities. We segregate from ourselves. That's what becomes unhealthy. And again, we end up loving our oppressors the same way that we hate each other, because that's how they treat us. They treat us like garbage, tell us everybody gotta love everybody except for yourselves. You gotta love everybody else. You gotta love the Asians. You gotta be tolerant of everybody else's way of life. But you niggas and spics can't be friends.
Right.
But you gotta love everybody else except for yourselves. We hate each other the same way that we love them, the same way that they hate us. The so-called white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. This kingdom needs to be destroyed. Welcome to the Isupk.
That's right.
The Most High is doing terrible works on earth to keep his people alive and to fix these issues. They're going to learn to leave us alone. They're going to. They're going to learn to separate themselves from us. They're going to learn not to harm our people again. And when they fall, again, a lot of people are going to want to try to cling on to that. They need to fall. Listen, don't cry for them. They're going to be okay. They're going to be fine. They're going to be okay. They're still going to be in the kingdom. You're still going to see them alive. You're just not going to see them in that seat of power that they at now. And they don't deserve to be there. They deserve to be in the bottom. They deserve to listen. My daughter needs a life-size stable for her My Little Pony collection. Somebody's gonna have to build that shit. I'm not gonna do it. I don't care about My Little Pony. But if she wants one, somebody's gonna have to build that. She needs a separate house for her rock collection. Somebody's got to build that. And they're going to be happy to build it. It's going to be awesome. You'll see. It's going to be great. It's going to be a good time. All right, with that, any questions, comments, or concerns in the room before we close out? All right, with that, I'm Maggie. So we're going to salute the Torah first. Okay, so pick up the scrolls. So, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Sabbath. Yeah.
Yahweh Shem Yahweh Sabbath. Yeah.
Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabrak. Yeah. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabrak. Yeah.
How about Shimmy Ashar brought ya?
Men of Israel, mighty Isupk, mighty rock.
How about Shimmy Ashar brought thumb?